What is going on, people, and welcome back to a new one today, a new type of content to the channel. I did drop it in the community tab the other day just to warn you guys. There is going to be golf content coming because, for a little bit of a backstory for you guys, when I was about 6 or 7, 7 or 8, I used to have golf lessons. Grew up with it, my dad played a lot. It was always on the telly, and especially things like the Masters or the Open. So I grew up with it and my dad playing it a lot, and I used to practice at home, just putting in the front room like you do and as a kid, and had my lessons. And then just stopped playing after them lessons really, and then got into football heavily. So played football most of my life, but recently, the last, I'd say 6 months, I've got back into golf, maybe even less. And I've been going to play regularly with my dad. And yeah, I've fell back in love with the sport, slowly learning the players. And yeah, as I said, I remember it on the telly when I was growing up a lot. The likes of Tiger Woods, obviously, Nick Faldo, Fred Couples, Greg Norman. The list goes on. As I said, the last few months I've been really getting back into it. Obviously, I can't play football anymore because of injuries and stuff. So like golf suits me as well, and it's just a beautiful game. Like especially when you go and play it, and it's nice weather, and there's nothing quite like it. There's a little bit of a backstory as to why I'm bringing golf to the channel. As I said, it has a close fondness in my heart, and it's something that I fell back in love with. So, yeah, today with my top current 5 golfers going at the moment. I've just done this based on who I like, really, not necessarily what they've won, but just who I like at the moment. My all-time favourite, I'm going to leave that for another video, just so I don't spoil it, but yeah, top 5 current golfers at the moment. I hope you enjoy it, and let me know in the comments who yours are, especially if you're new to the channel and you love golf yourself. In at number 5 then, I've gone with Tommy Fleetwood. I know he'd be a lot of people's number 1, especially if you're English. I just haven't seen tons of him yet. I've seen a bit of him, saw most of him so far at the Ryder Cup recently is when I've fully locked in. Saw a little bit of him at the last Open as well, but especially the Ryder Cup recently, and he won me over more than he has done in the past. He's not won a major yet. He's got 2 runners-up places so far, one in the US Open and one in the Open. Yeah, I think he will go on to win majors. I remember he missed quite a few birdie opportunities in the last Open that just went, but he was fundamental in the Ryder Cup performance recently. And he just seems like a great guy, like on and off the course. So Tommy Fleetwood in at number 5. In at number 4, I've gone with the Irish Shane Lowry. I knew a little bit about him and heard his name, and obviously he has won an Open in 2019. He's got a runners-up in the US Open as well, and he's got 3rd place in the Masters. He's got a bit of a CV already when it comes to getting close and winning stuff, and he has won an Open. But he won me over even more again at the Ryder Cup. I haven't seen a lot of these guys so far because I've only recently been getting back into golf. But his character and personality was just brilliant for the Ryder Cup. He was kind of like the mascot for the team, but he was also part of it and played a fundamental role as well. And he offers a lot of experience as well, obviously. But I just loved his personality, how much he was enjoying the Ryder Cup. And I think, especially nowadays, even though I'm just getting back into it, it seems like golf is losing its characters compared to how it used to be. But he seems to be a bit more of that old school and fun. Shane Lowry, number 4. In at number 3, might be a bit of a controversial one for some because of where he's moved to. But I didn't base that into my top 5. It's just who I like and who I recognise straight away when I got back into it. And it's Cameron Smith. Obviously, he won the Open in 2022. Comes 2nd in the Masters. Obviously, he's at LIV now. I'm not a fan of LIV, to be honest, so whether or not I do videos on LIV in the future, I'm not sure, but I'm not a fan of what they're doing at the moment. But I don't blame him for moving to LIV necessarily. Like, you do it for financial reasons. I'm not here to judge anyone. I caught him at the Masters when he battled it out with Scheffler. That was the first thing I watched when I was getting back into it. And obviously, he's gone on to win the Open last year. 2nd in the Masters, and he's probably not even in his prime yet, so I think he's going to win a few majors, to be honest. So I think he's going to build on that Open win that he got. Being at LIV, it's going to be interesting to see what he's eligible for in the future. That's always going to change in terms of what the LIV players can, if they can enter things like the Open and stuff still, and that could change year in and year out. So I have to wait and see, but I really like him. I like his style. I like his confidence. And yeah, just one that I enjoy watching, and he's already won. So Cameron Smith, number 3. Number 2, a Spaniard in Jon Rahm. I wasn't sure on him at first when I first saw him, but he won me over. I love his swing. He's got this aggressive, quick-paced swing. And I thought at the Ryder Cup again, he was kind of like one of our leaders for the team and just dragging us forward. And getting that momentum going and just fired up, very passionate, very patriotic for like as a Spaniard and as part of Team Europe. You could see what it meant to him. And he's another one that has won already, and he's not that old. So he won the Masters in 2023, obviously, this year. So he's the holder of the Masters. He won the US Open in 2021, and he's got second place in the Open as well. So he's got a fantastic record already. Still lots of years ahead of him. He's like, hence why he's second place on it. He could have easily been my number 1 as well, but really like him, big fan of him, and he's already won a few things already. And like I said, he's passionate, he's got technique, he's consistent, and I think he's got the mindset as well to back it up. Loved him at the Ryder Cup, really like watching him, he's very exciting. Jon Rahm, number 2. And then number 1 could be a little bit questionable for some people if you're basing it off of majors, because he hasn't won any majors yet. But I think in terms of form, in the last year especially, it's hard to argue with. And I think at the Ryder Cup, he was our best player, along with Rahm, but I would put him ahead of Rahm, to be honest, for his performance at the Ryder Cup. And also just his season as an individual this year. And that is Viktor Hovland. As I said, he's not won a major yet, but he's got a second place in the PGA Championships. I just love his character. He seems very positive, happy-go-lucky, but dedicated, focused when he needs to be. But then you see how happy he was like behind players when they're about to tee off, whether it's in individual competitions or at things like the Ryder Cup. I think he's a great character and personality for the game of golf. He's light-hearted, he's positive, you always see him with a smile on his face. And he's won several things this year. He's just not won a major yet, but I think that is going to be coming in the next year or two at minimum. I think he will win at least one in the next year and then build on it. Viktor Hovland is my number 1. So that is it for my top 5 current golfers, guys. I hope you enjoyed the list. Let me know yours in the comments, and I'll see you soon.